Today I'm going to be comparing the Rode Videomic Go 2 versus the Samsung Q2U, and that's quite a mouthful to say. The reason I'm going to be comparing these two microphones is recently I decided I wanted to buy a new microphone and I couldn't decide between the Samsung or the Rode. And so I looked it up on YouTube and could not find a comparison anywhere. So I decided I was going to make one. That way, if you're looking for it, great, you found it. If you're not, then it's okay. I can watch my own video. Both of these microphones are in the, I guess you would call it, budget category. They're not very hard on the wallet, with the Rode coming in, less than $100, and the Samsung coming in somewhere between 55 and 70 or $80, just depending on if you find it on sale, which luckily for me, I did find this one on sale and I got it for about $55 on Amazon. And I found the Rode on sale and got it for about 70 or $75. And so I was like, you know what? Let's just get them. Let's compare them and let's see what the difference is. If there's a difference, if there's not a difference. I just was curious as to what that could be. Currently, you are listening to the Samsung Q2U. In fact, you've been listening to it this whole time. I will get into the Rode in just a minute, but I wanted to start with the Samsung because I'm in my room right now. I have treatment for this room, but I purposely did not put up any of the sound blankets or anything like that to treat this room because I wanted to see how well these microphones could reject the room sound. Supposedly, the Samsung does a better job because it's a dynamic mic that's supposed to be right here up on your mouth and rejects off axis sounds a whole lot better than maybe, say, the Rode would. But I just wanted to compare that. So right now you are listening to the Samsung Q2U, and I'm not going to go into all the different specs about these microphones. You can look these up in other places. The truth is, you're coming here because you want to see how it sounds. And so right now, the whole time, like I said, you've been listening to the Samsung Q2U, and now you're listening to the Rode Videomic Go 2. Now, one thing I do want to point out with the Rode is it does pick up a lot more of the room noise, and so I do have some processing going on in the software, the Rode Connect software that you can hook up to the Rode. In fact, I've got both of these microphones running through the Rode Connect software. It's this. I'm a Rode fanboy. I just am. I've got several different Rode microphones. Like for example, I've got the mini here. I used this one for quite a while. I've got the lavalier mics. I've had both of them, the first version and the second version. So I'm a big Rode fan, but I did notice that, especially in this room, it's hardwood floors. I'm sitting in the corner of my office. I've got a large screen right here, and so the sound is bouncing all over the place. And so maybe you'll hear some mic noise here, but we'll move it a little bit closer to my mic, monitor the audio coming in. I don't want to be blowing your eardrums out. But in the software, again, you can look up the Rode Connect software, but I've learned that, like with the pad and the high pass filter and the low pass filter, and putting all that on, especially in a very, very harsh environment like this, tends to help the Rode out. And again, you are listening to the Rode Videomic Go 2 as I'm talking and comparing these two microphones. Now, once again, I'm going to mute the Rode and I'm going to go back to the Samsung Q2U. And so now that's what you're hearing coming through my software, going through the Rode Connect app. I'm actually using a third-party software to set up a virtual channel in the Rode Connect. There's some YouTube videos that you can watch on how to do that. If you're curious, let me know in the comments below, and I'll try to make a video teaching you exactly how I did this. And so, I haven't had either one of these mics a super, super long time, but I am a fan. I've always been a fan of the way the Samsung sounds because of the budget price, and it's the USB microphone. And that's another thing, just so you know, both of these microphones are running through my computer so that there's no camera preamp that could possibly distort the sound or bring in any kind of extra noise. Both of these are running USB into my M1 Mac Mini. And so, again, this to me, the Samsung has this nice, rich sound to the microphone, especially for the price. You get a very, very good sound out of the microphone, as hopefully you can hear. And again, I have not, there's not going to be much post processing done to the microphones. I want you to hear, other than maybe leveling out the sound of the microphone. And hold on, you know what? We're going to swap microphones yet again. Hey, future Rodney here. Just wanted to hop back on real quick. I realized I did not let you hear the raw audio out of the Rode Videomic Go 2 in the video. Everything had the pad or the high pass and low pass filters on. So this is with no pad. This is with no filter whatsoever. This is just the raw audio coming out of the Rode. Again, this is a harsh environment, a harsh room. So you're probably picking up a lot of room noise, which is where the pad and the software comes in handy. But I did want to give you the opportunity to at least hear how the Rode sounds without any kind of treatment whatsoever on the microphone. Okay, back to the video. Now we're back on the road. And so, talking about the Samsung, it being the budget-friendly option, it being the USB option, as well as an XLR option, gives you that, I liked the fact that I didn't have to break the bank and I could buy a microphone that could possibly, I could use to, when I upgrade audio equipment and things of that nature, I could use the Samsung for that. And so I do feel like in an environment such as this where nothing is treated, I don't have my sound blankets on, everything's just kind of bouncing around the room. I feel like with the Rode, you're going to hear more of the room, which is not a big deal. If you treated it, you could deaden the sound and stuff, but I just didn't want to do that. And so I feel like the Samsung is better at isolating your voice up this close. But where the Rode shines is the fact that you can turn this pad on. You can, do things to dampen the sound of the room, but the flexibility of the Rode. The Samsung, I've got to be right here at my station. I've got to be plugged into my computer. I've got to be plugged into an audio interface, which I don't have yet, but hopefully one day I'll get. But the Rode, I can put it on my camera. I can mount it to the camera, and it can be mobile and it can be portable, and you get really good sound. Also, I can mount it to my phone, so I can have simple on the go, a small vlogging rig, a small recording rig if you want. With a simple cable, I can plug it up to my phone and I'm ready to go. Whereas the Samsung, kind of, you have to be stationed at your desk in order to use it. The Rode is definitely more versatile. You know, again, I like both of these microphones. I really do. In fact, we're gonna swap back over to the Samsung just so you can hear the difference again in the microphones. I don't really have anything negative to say. They both have their pros and cons. Just like I told you, the pros of the Samsung, it really isolates my voice and keeps the bouncing, echoey sounds of the room from, entering the microphone. However, the Rode, even though it may, absorb and it recognize more of the sounds from the room, it's a whole lot more portable and it can be used on the go. So, if you're curious or if you're interested in either one of these microphones, of course, I will leave them linked in the description below. Those are affiliate links to Amazon. You don't have to use them if you don't want to. If you want to, that's great. I would greatly appreciate it. But, you know, not it's not a deal breaker. It's not something you actually have to do using those links. But I just wanted to give you the opportunity to hear what the Samsung Q2U could sound like versus what the Rode the Videomic Go 2. God, these Rode names, they sometimes they get a little bit hard to remember. But I just wanted you to have the opportunity to hear both of these microphones and what I would consider to be a harsh environment. Again, some of my videos I don't set stuff up, I just get lazy, but some of them, I've got these sound blankets and I can link those in the description as well. They do a really good job at deadening the room and deadening the sound. But today I purposely did not put those up because I wanted, number one, I wanted to hear what it sounded like. But number two, I wanted to give you the opportunity to hear what both of these microphones may sound like in a harsh environment, how both of these microphones would sound, say, against my voice. I don't have the deepest of voice in the world. So, I don't have that low radio voice, that Barry White type voice, anything like that. And so you can kind of hear how this would sound against my voice and how maybe it would compare to your voice. But that's all. That was the purpose of this video, is simply to compare the Rode Videomic Go 2 versus the Samsung Q2U. My name's Rodney. I'll talk to you later.